Brazil has always been a team with footballing names that can swing the game almost single-handedly, and this has included names such as Ronaldo the Phenomenon, who led Brazil to the World Cup glory of 2002, Ronaldinho, the man who at his prime was considered to be unmatchable, and the legend Pele himself. Always arriving at the World Cup with a squad that promises to win them the cup, 2022 is no different. Given that most of its players are playing in the most competitive leagues in the world, having so many talented players must surely be a wonderful problem to have for Tite. Let's take a look at the footballers who are likely to start as the 11 from Brazil. 1. Alisson, the goalkeeper. Alisson Becker is the man who guards the Brazilian goal. Although Manchester City's Ederson gives him some competition at the Brazilian national team, there's no catching Alisson. Alisson is agile, has wonderful reflexes, and is equally adept at playing from the back. And who can forget the instance when he scored a header in the stoppage time for Liverpool? 2. Thiago Silva, centre-back. Thiago Silva has always been the rock of defense for whichever club he has played for. He missed out on winning the Champions League while at PSG, but at the age of 38, he still plays incredibly well for Chelsea. So much so that people wanted him to undergo a doping test, as he played the game at a level which a 37-year-old possibly couldn't have. So without any potential injuries, Silva is likely to star in the role of a fullback for Chelsea. 3. Marquinhos, centre-back. Another PSG defender, Marquinhos is most likely to partner with Thiago Silva for the role of a centre-back. He has a wonderful ability to win the ball in the air. He knows all too well how to play alongside Silva. Once dubbed by The Observer as one of the most promising young players in Europe around 8 years ago, Marquinhos has iced up to the predicament and will play alongside Silva. 4. Eder Militao, right back. Having already won a Champions League and 2 La Liga titles with Real Madrid at the young age of 24, Eder Militao is one of the strongest candidates to start as a right back for the Brazilian national team. The other reason why he is pivotal to Brazil is that he can cover up for the centre-backs in case any of them get injured. 5. Alex Telles. Sevilla's Alex Telles is one of the strongest prospects to start as a left-back for Brazil. Having been sent on a loan to Sevilla from Manchester United, Telles' performances have improved, but his place is not as cemented as the rest of the players. Before we move over to the midfield, let's check out other defensive options. As we said previously, having many options at various positions is a delightful problem for Brazil. Sandro and Danilo are 2 players from Juventus that could make it as left and right backs. Dani Alves might be another player who hopes to make it to the grandest stage for one last time. Bremer, Gabriel Magalhães, and Emerson Royal are amongst other defensive names who play for the biggest clubs in Europe and might be hoping to improve their performances at their clubs to get into the Brazilian squad. 6. Casemiro, defensive midfielder. One of the best players in the world at his position, it is difficult to see past Casemiro at the position of a defensive midfielder for Brazil. Given that he can score goals, as was the case when he netted the ball past the Chelsea goal to give the Manchester Reds a very unlikely draw this week, all doubts regarding Casemiro's performances have been quashed. 7. Neymar, center midfielder. Neymar is one of the most versatile players in the world. Given that Brazil has so many attacking options, it might well be the case that Neymar plays as a central midfielder, much in the same way that Messi does. With players like Vinicius Jr. and Jesus in the attacking sphere, we might be seeing Neymar as a man who creates chances that others can take. 8. Lucas Paqueta, central midfield. We might see Lucas Paqueta alongside Neymar and Casemiro, holding the Brazilian midfield this World Cup in Qatar. Although he didn't perform as well as was expected of him while he was at AC Milan, his move to Lyon see him mature into the player he has had the potential to be. And now at West Ham, he is expected to learn all the feistiness of the English game, something he hopes will help him during the World Cup at Qatar. Other midfield options. Both Manchester United stars Antony and Fred are those players who are performing really well at the club level. Don't forget to check our video on how Antony became €1 million player. Then, there are players such as Philippe Coutinho, who could add a spark of creativity to the team. And how can we forget the nimbleness of Arthur? Before we check out one of the best attacks in the World Cup 2022, please remember to comment below and let us know what will be your starting 11 for Brazil, and like the video. if you believe Brazil will win the World Cup this year. 9. Rafinha. Barcelona's Rafinha is a winger who could start for Tite. After scoring 17 goals for Leeds United with his blistering pace and clinal touches from 2020-2021, Rafinha is almost certain to start as a winger for this Brazilian team. 10. Jesus. Jesus was always someone with a lot of talent, but after his move to Arsenal, we have seen his boom into the striker that he meant to be. He has scored 19 goals for Brazil with a conversion of a goal per 3 games. His conversion rate at Arsenal isn't too different. Brazil will be hoping that he betters this during the World Cup. 11. Vinicius Jr., winger. Real Madrid was hoping that Eden Hazard would have stepped up to the scenes at Madrid after Cristiano left, but a Vinicius Jr. proved to be the talent that was going to carry Madrid forward. His blistering pace, the ability to run past defensive lines and score goals or turn rebounds into goals make him such a threat as a left winger. Other attacking options. With the attacking options that are already as good as the one we've discussed, Brazil has plenty of firepowers to choose from. In recent times, Roberto Firmino has been displaying amazing goal-scoring feats at Liverpool. Brazil also has Richarlison, Gabriel Martinelli, and Antony to pick from. The depth of this Brazilian squad is almost limitless. It is unbelievably frightening to see the talent and depth of the Brazilian squad. We also saw Brazilians, the most visible of whom was Neymar, shed a lot of tears when Argentina beat them in the Copa America final. Brazil must have learned from their mistakes and will most definitely be hoping to win a trophy this time around.